Yo, what is up, chat? Good to see you. Welcome. What up, Reaper? What up, Joda? What up, Coffee? How's everyone doing? Okay, right. First things first. This is going to be a bit of a shorter stream. It is mine and Mrs. Caz's anniversary today, so I am going to be heading off shortly. But I got a couple of things I want to cover. And I also want to get a bit of feedback and do a little bit of an announcement as well. I'm doing good, thank you, Joda. How are you, bro? Thank you, Reaper. Appreciate that. Okay. So, first of all, probably what we all kind of want to hear is I am going to make this our last meeting. This will be our last server meeting. And then we'll go back to doing them like once a week or something like that. So I've got a couple of things here that I want to cover. Just to make sure that we can continue in the best way possible. So yesterday we discussed the new settings, which I am still in the process of figuring all of that out. I will have that ready possibly by tomorrow. What day are we on? Okay. So yeah, possibly by tomorrow. Okay, so yeah, yesterday we covered like how many powers at the base, XP rate, incubators, guilds, spoke about the server reset, went through some of the Discord comments, all the dog coins, all that sort of stuff. So we've covered most of it. So today, the main things I want to focus is the jobs and the player-run businesses. I want the player-run businesses to pretty much be anything, but we need a rough idea. Now, we did run into a very slight problem. And that problem is that our original area that we set up... Let me just fly through here real quick. The original area we set up, it doesn't help that it's dark right now. So this little market area here, I've been doing some work on, but it turns out this is not going to be good for a market area just because the admin base is above. So that means that the admin base essentially would stop anyone from putting any storage in here, which of course we would need for people to run their shops. They would be extremely locked out of everything. It would just make it very hard. So this market area is going to be revamped and it's going to become something different. We're still working on what yet. But other than that, so I've come up with this idea down here. It's a little out of the way too. It takes a good amount of running for players to reach it. The problem is with that is this is the community area, so everyone should be coming here pretty much every day anyway to check out rules and things like that. So I think it's more of a case of we actually want that. We want things to be more out of the way, just because right now everybody just stays in their base. So we want reasons to have to go to community areas and interact with each other and that kind of stuff. So the out of the way isn't really the concern. There is actually extremely quick ways to get around this area. For example, you can slide down these stairs, jump and glide and clear this whole area in seconds. You can then also hit the respawn just to teleport back to wherever you like. So it's not too much of my concern. The way I do want to... I think the best way for it, with up there for it, with it being, for example, if you do come down and slide, you then do land kind of here and you still got to go up. Whereas we have been working on this walking area that leads down to the beach down here. We have now put together a little restaurant, just some small changes, and then it will come down. And this is what I've been working on, which is our new beach area, where we have a couple of little examples here of how we can run the shops, which will basically be a whole new community area as well. Now, originally, we were going to build on the beach here. You could, like you could see here, you could actually build on it. Well, it turns out, the latest update that Palworld have just done, they patched it. So, if, Pocket Pet, if you're in here and you did it because you seen me do it, leave me alone. I'm sure it's just a coincidence, but goddamn, I mentioned it and the next update it's gone. So yeah, I like this idea for these little shops. And I've done a little example one here. So basically you would come on in. It's a little bit dark in here when I'm not down here because the light doesn't actually work because it's not loaded in. But basically, the person who runs the shop would be down behind here. They have their storage, and you can access this chest through the window from both sides. So that would make it easy to do the transaction, which is why it was difficult to have it up in the other market area where it would you wouldn't be able to use chests. So yeah, little idea for the businesses, but we need to figure out what the main businesses are to go in there. And then other than that, we have just done some little minor changes everywhere, made everything a little bit brighter. For example, we now have an area where you can get quests, and we've got kind of street signs up, which will help with everything. Oh yeah, we do now have a prison. Like we said, it would be fun. The prison times would be like, if you break a rule, you get like 10 minutes IRL time in a prison. But we do actually have prisons. Hey, Kathy. Just more of a fun thing more than anything. But yeah, we do. You will get locked up. Yeah, just a little fun idea. But yeah, so we're gonna be focusing on going through the through all the stuff today. We have reworked the entrance. So the entrance is now an actual full building with a roof, bunch of stuff. The saying is that we have one prison and one apartment. We also got rid of this side gate over here just to close it all off and kind of finish the way this looks, this is starting to look really cool now. Obviously, we are going to still continue to work on it, but it's getting there. So the main thing that's holding us back from launching right now is the fact that we don't have really much of a plan for our businesses. So that's what we got to figure out. So we're going to go through that now and try and make a good list of everything that we need to prepare for job-wise. So if you have any ideas of things that we need technically done by somebody else in the game, let me know. I'd like to run a medical and potion shops. Okay, so is that what you would prefer? Like, basically, regardless of what you kind of want to do right now, doesn't mean you're necessarily going to get that job. It's more so we're just going to talk about the jobs in general, although you are the only person to suggest that. So, you know, but that's what you want to do. You don't want to do the breeding. But we go through who's doing what. I'm happy to assign that. It's more so I can prepare kind of job titles for what they're going to then be responsible for. So we would have a breeder. I'll probably try to become a breeder again, though. As for the first time, I'd probably go at it later game. Gotcha. Breeder, medical supplies. Not only 1 to 5 incubators. Well, technically, that hasn't been decided. I'd love to do the wood and stone shop, so like a basic resources shop. Basic resources. Yeah, like I said, this isn't going to who's going to do what job right now. It's more so the range of jobs we're going to have. We also said like cooking, like a chef. Okay, and then yeah, I'm pretty much gonna be running an admin shop. Cooks for sure. Okay, so we got admin shop, breeder, medical supplies, basic resources, cooking / chef. Hey Reflex, how you doing, lad? I haven't been on my PC in a while, so I don't know what I missed, if I have missed anything. Missed a couple of meetings, the last one being the most important, like yesterday's one. I would highly suggest rewatching that. But I'm doing good, thank you. How are you doing? Yeah, so basic resources. So when it comes to like the wood and stone, you would also then cover some of those other basic resources as well, depending on what people want to do. There needs to be a server cop flying around on my jet dragon. Well, essentially, there's going to be... You can run any business in the game and still be like a moderator as well. So for example, I'm going to run the admin shop, but I'm still going to, because not everyone's going to want to use the shops at all time, and not everything's going to need moderating at all times. But you also don't have to run a business. Need someone for power fluid and oil. Good coin there too. Okay. Power fluid / oils. Okay. Why another plan on food production / selling cooked food? Okay, yeah, so we got cooking / chef. That's fine. No worries, Reflex. My dog. I leave these doors open, I shut the dog out, she goes out the kitchen door and just comes straight back in again. Go on. Hey, out. Oh. Just been doing laps. I think that the biggest issue with the is you kind of need mods to set up the shops and enhance the guilds, as the Palworld currently has. It isn't the best. I don't think we need mods for shops. I don't think we need that. I think it's easy enough to do. Just because, like, realistically, all it's going to be is what resources you have is what you're going to get for money. If you've got the money, you can buy it. Like, there doesn't need to be much more in line of it. But how you doing, Zyder? Good to see you. In terms of the guilds are going to be the toughest thing, I feel. They're going to be the toughest thing to figure out. A bull shop. All my coin and resources. Okay, so... Because we can upgrade some of these, right? So, like, basic resources could also cover, like, spheres. That's kind of why I want to get an idea of what is kind of the most needed stuff. And then I would essentially start to fill these roles out and kind of tell people what they're roughly in charge of. Be a lot better if you had a mod that put down a store and you can then fill with items to sell and set prices, etc. Currently, nothing in the game has that features. I mean, to automate the transaction period, sure. But you know, I think other than that, I think that's the only thing a mod would technically need to be for. Just to basically make it how you would buy from a merchant, like it's a 24-hour shop. A mod would be useful for that. But I think that's kind of quite a, like, it's not enough of a reason to, like, say, like, oh, let's not do shops right now. You know what I mean? But I do agree. A mod would be awesome for it. The post office doesn't need to be ran as a job. That's fine. That can just be a player-run thing. Moderators can help with that kind of thing. That'd just be easy. That's pretty much just, like, you know, down to the two people communicating. But there may be times where there's not instant transactions. But that's fine. It would just be held through contact through Discord, that sort of stuff. Guilds are fun that people might want to avoid them since there is no way in the game that splits the power boxes from the guilds. I think it would have been better if Palworld split the guild and player box. Oh yeah, for sure. For sure. I agree. I agree with that. Having guilds share power boxes is kind of dumb. Or you could at least, like, you should be at least able to... Like, I guess you can, because you can just make sure that everyone in the guild has one power box, and then you can kind of just make sure you spread out enough. But it wasn't a well thought out system, if you ask me. I don't think guilds should have anything to do with each other's power boxes. So I don't know whether they're... Hopefully they just give us enough settings to be able to toggle that sort of stuff. Okay, so admin shop, breeder, medical supplies, basic resources, cooking / chef, spheres, power fluid and oil. What else is really needed? I guess, like, armor. Weapons, which could also be the same shop. Makes sense to me. That makes no sense to me. Would have been better if it was split. I have no issue being in a guild if it wasn't. Yeah, same. Same. And it's not even that bad, like, early game, but, like, end game, sharing a power box is kind of crazy. Ammo. So weapons, armor, and ammo could technically go into, like, almost one shop. But it also depends how many people we got, right? Some of the stuff may get more, like, some shop owners may have more requirements just because there's so much to do. And you're not always going to want... Like, people are not always going to want what you're selling. You want to max powers be annoying if you put them in a box and someone joined guild and cleared it. Yeah, exactly. It's so dumb. You should be able to toggle like a share power box option. It seems like a pretty easy thing to have as well. Okay, spheres, power fluid, oil, armor, weapons, ammo. What else we got? The breeder would sell the pals. Power fluid and oil would probably be basic. Yeah, I'm thinking that. I'll keep it all separate for now. Just so we can, just so then what I'll do is I'll just kind of condense them down. Because we also don't want like hundreds of shops, right? Like, and we can technically have like multiple people working in the same business if they're happy to work together. To keep like 24-hour availability for certain stuff. Right, so that's probably it, right? Basic resources. I guess you could technically have like a high-end shop. So high-end resources. I guess just high-end resources kind of thing. Because it could be useful. I mean, I won't be able to keep up with breeding demands on my own. Sure. Basic, but one is mined and chopped, and one is from ranch with 6 to 8 pals setting. It'd be hard to do mining and ranch and keep pals fed. Yeah, but the thing is, if you had just one base, which was a business base, that's one mining, one chopping, then what, 2 or 3 in ranch, so then you're up to 5. So I don't think it would necessarily be that hard, and again, you're not meant to do everything yourself, so it could be that to keep your business going, you need to go and spend your dog coins at other shops, you know. So I don't think that's too bad at all. Some with monster drops and resources, sure, yeah. But you got to remember as well, you can't just buy stock from other players, so you could run a shop and you buy, you know, ancient civilization parts from, like, just someone who likes to do combat. Like, you can make that deal. That goes for capturing high-level powers. True. Best to have 2 different shops, one for mining, ore and wood, and different... Yeah, I think that's too much. I don't think that's needed. I think the amount of people that's going to be buying something at a time, you're going to have 3 shops for 3 of the most basic resources in the game. That doesn't seem to make sense to me. Like, mining and wood is only 2 pals. If you're then going to transfer it, which technically you don't need to do if you're on fairly often, because you're going to have 9,999 wood and stone, and ore, and... Do you know what I mean? So you technically don't need to actually worry about, like, fully transferring all the pals, transferring all the loot, or you might have to put in a little bit of work yourself. Not all going to be automated. Yeah, services is still going to be a thing. We don't necessarily need, like, actual shop buildings for that, so that's not too bad. But I'll just put services. I quite like the idea of services. I remember Joda wanted to do, like, building services. And technically, you could run services alongside a regular job if you wanted to stay really busy. You know, like, you could have your shop that sells, I don't know, sells armor. But then, in between people wanting to buy any of it, you go and do services like taking people bossing or whatever it may be. So, okay, services, double as a mercenary? Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. That's kind of what I would be doing, really. I would technically have the service of giving out quests, and I would then be running a admin shop. So... yeah, breeding's not a 24/7 thing. So yeah, you can definitely, if you want to stay busy, like if you think about it, you don't have to do any job at all. So if you want to chill, you can chill. You could just run one business if you want something else to do on the side kind of thing. Or if you really want to keep busy, you could technically run multiple. As long as you do like a shop and a service, services won't need an extra base, won't need an extra shop, you know, like that sort of stuff. Literally not early on when facilities are suboptimal. Yeah, for sure. For sure. Okay. Services, Why is YouTube trying to go so crazy on ads today? I've skipped like 9 ads. Go away. Gonna do build services and give out quests? Absolutely. Well, obviously, right now I'm not gonna guarantee any jobs for anybody right now. I'd rather us go through and do the proper process for it all. But you could do that technically, yes. You could run a survey. I mean, like that kind of thing is fine. I'd rather people didn't have like multiple like services or multiple shops unless there was ways to make it work. It's gonna be a bit tough, but we can definitely sort it out. Hey, what up, Rin? How you doing, bro? Because you just want the minimum amount of shops in marked, so basic resources, medical, food, pals, armor, weapon, ammo, special services, so around 6 shops. I mean, technically, yes, but if you think about it, like basic resources, that doesn't really cover like high-end resources. So if there's more players to do more jobs, then sure. Yeah, so multiple people could still do the same shop. So you can have like multiple breeders, you know. We just don't want like 100 different businesses. Sorry for being inactive enough streams these last few days. No worries, Rin. Hope you're doing good, man. Then you got the quest shop guild for you handling quests. Yeah, so we've got the we got a little quest section, and basically, I would either just be hanging around in the beginning area, or you can pretty much just like message me on Discord or something, and I'll come up to the quest section. But for example, here, I hate that the lights don't actually work. They do when you're stood up here, but like I've got a supply of dog coins in this cabinet, which I can stand here and hand out. Be awesome. I'm not going to be on long tonight, Rin. It's me and Mrs. Kaz's anniversary today, so I'm going to be heading off to chew. And I'm not going to lie, I hate the weather right now. I can't wait for the winter. I am sweating out in here. Don't you come through that door again. I've sent you around like 5 times now. Dog's doing my head in. I have a request for everyone in chat. Hit that like button. Hit that like button and Joda will personally deliver you a dog coin. Just one. Gonna be a notice board for general news? Yes. Let me fly back up real quick. I have actually thought about that, and I thought about this area here. I thought this is quite a cool... We were originally going to use it for a leaderboard, but I've come up with a different idea for our events, which I'm going to go through soon. But I think this is a cool like notice board. Put anything up on it. Thank you, Kathy. Yeah, honestly, the weather is horrendous. It's so hot. Like, I'm dripping wet. I'm just watching the stream. I like the idea of the dog coins, and if you're higher level, you can earn more, kind of like quests in MMO, and the higher level you are, the more dog coins you can get. Yeah, absolutely. And you'll always be able to get quests to get more, you know, that sort of stuff. I get my 1 coin when I see you, Joda. But yeah. Hey, thank you, Rim. Appreciate you. Mrs. Guz did say she'd get less for murder, so, you know. Yeah, if we go by getting a trade channel going, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you can still trade. Huh? When you lose your attitude. Our latest Rim. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, I will set up the trade channel. I'll make a note of that as well. The trade channel, remember, that is not something we particularly need to set up other than the text chat. But yeah, I can get that sorted for sure. Okay, admin shop, breeder, medical supplies, basic resources, cooking slash chef, spheres, pal fluid slash oil, armor, weapons, ammo, high-end resources, services. I think that pretty much covers everything, right? Services, you could technically offer whatever you wanted. We don't need to really set that up as a proper shop. You could just put something up on the notice board. I like it. Okay. there was something else I was meant to cover, but I completely forgot. I forgot. But yeah, as I mentioned earlier, this is pretty much gonna be our last meeting. You know, daily meetings. We're gonna go doing them weekly. One thing I do need to do is just kind of now piece all of the information we've been collecting, and as well as all the new stuff we've been figuring out, like behind the scenes. Like we got some new rules, and we got some kind of etiquette build rules, things like that. So just kind of piece that all together now, which I'll be doing tonight and tomorrow, and then I think we're ready to go. What up, Big Toe Dam? How you doing, bro? Yeah, then I think after that we're ready to get back into it. So we'll be doing like a second launch stream, and I don't think we need to worry about planning too much more. I think guilds we'd have to figure out. I'll be down for a medical shop, please. I'm good to go eat. Catch you later and have fun tonight and get drunk as Mrs. Kaz. In no condition to carry you to bed. True, true. No drinking, no drinking. Just a chilled one. But have fun, coffee. When do you think you're launching it? I think we'd probably look at launching... Now, I'm going to be grinding, so if I can, I'd like to launch tomorrow. I think a worst case scenario... would be Friday. I think that's the latest it could possibly be. A list of everything you need to do, and I can get more stuff done. Appreciate you, Jody. Yeah, we'll have a... I guess another thing I've got to do is... the moderators... / admins. Boom. Yeah, so I think we could 100% be ready for Friday at the latest. I'm going to aim for tomorrow. Then I think we're good. So... cool. And then we can get back to our normal streams then. Because as much as I do not mind the meetings, and I'll keep the meetings going, they're not the best content. It is just a case of like chatting. I want to get people back in the world. I want to get to giving out quests, you know, all that sort of stuff. I'm actually been kind of considering to create some sort of generator where you could input a player's level and it would generate a quest. But I also think it would be quite fun for chat to vote as we go around and just police the world. So yeah, I think that's it. I think that's pretty much everything we got to cover. Just say Friday, so shit will happen to stop it starting tomorrow. I mean, we've been, like, I've literally been putting probably a good 14 plus hours a day into all of the new changes. There is so much that we're pretty much going to be announcing for the second launch. I think we're basically done now. That's why now we're starting to talk about things like what jobs there need to be, you know, get these settings finalized. That shouldn't take too long at all. You could easily make a quest giver thing with Google Sheets or something. Yeah. The only, we could probably do it based on level as well. That wouldn't really be a problem. But maybe we'll get to that if it starts getting a bit too much. Like, in terms of giving quests out. But I agree with everything you said on your last stream. Everything sounds fair, and there is no need for 15 pals on one base to do everything, because there would be no reason for shops then. Yeah, exactly that. Exactly that. I think we actually surprisingly came together on some of the rules and settings, which is surprising because before we shut the server down, it was not so meeting on the middle ground, you know. But now it seems like we're all like, you know what? Let's do it. So tomorrow, my main focus tomorrow will be announcing everything. And then, just don't get your hopes up too much about it dropping tomorrow. Because again, I don't want to launch it when it's not quite ready. Friday will be the very, very latest. But I'm still aiming for tomorrow. But just keep an eye on the Discord. That's all we can do. That's all we can do. Okay, so just to run through these again, just to make sure. I'm still going to max level within 1 week of server launch. You wait till we see the 0.00001 XP. You're gonna get like, you're gonna capture 12 powers and get 4 XP. You let the daddy took the toys away until we agree on something. Hey, it helped. It did help, I must admit. Because before we reset, like before we like shut things down, it was like, oh, the XP seems a little bit too fast still. And people were like, oh no, you know, it still takes ages. It's still, I think it's about right. And then as soon as you shut it down, everyone's like, oh yeah, it's fast. Like, let's go to like 0.1. Okay, so run through the jobs again. Admin shop, that would be moi and any other admins. And the admin shop would essentially sell things that are harder to get in the game, like gold keys, training manuals, like things that you can't necessarily force the spawn of. A breeder. The XP is fine, I'm only max level. Breeder, medical suppliers, basic resources, cooking / chef. Then we sort out spheres, power fluid / high oil and crude oil, armor, weapons, ammo, high-end resources, and then services. I think that pretty much covers everything, right? The admin shop would have a lot of like XP stuff and you know, so we don't need to worry about any of that. Cooks are going to be extra valuable early on. Oh, for sure. Whoever pretty much starts and then just goes crazy grinding towards the chef stuff is probably going to be the richest in the server. For sure. Because admins will pretty much forever be broke because it just goes back into the admin lot. But yeah. I like it. I think that is the best we're going to get. So, makes sense. So I'll be announcing all the new... What? Honestly, YouTube is trying to drop an ad every, like, minute. That's crazy. I've skipped every one. So it makes sense of all the XP. The currency, the starter packs, the compensation for the reset. I've done some of this already, by the way. And then the shops. And then I think we settle guilds after. We can launch the server without, you know, without the guild set up, I think. And we go from there. Oh, also, when it comes to the patch notes in the server, because originally I was going to post the patch notes in the Discord. I'm still going to do that, but I think we do them... I think we do it, like, per change, instead of, like, collecting up a whole bunch. Unless it's, like, a whole bunch is done in one go. But rather than, like, building them up, I think we just keep them going out as we do and change little things. So rather than having, like, giant patch notes, we will just sometimes put out, like, one thing at a time. I think it's just easier to keep track of everything that way. Because otherwise it's like, oh, I've changed something, but I don't want to put it out yet. Because, you know, like, there's not enough to put out. Whereas if it is just, like, one thing, then it can just be like, right, put that out, done. Then if we change it back, you just put it out again. I think that's the easiest way to keep people as updated as much as possible. Cool. Alright, well, that's me sorted for tonight then. Alright chat, nice quick one. I'm heading off. I am wet through. If anyone has a space in their guild, I don't mind joining. I just want to see other players when I play. Yeah, we will sort the guilds for sure. We are also going to make it a bit more of a rule for everyone to come and hang out. But not necessarily hang out, but to come and visit the starting area. You'll be able to see the notice board there. Oh, it's so dark right now. You'll be able to see the notice board there. You'll be able to see all the new changes. You know, see what jobs are about. Head down to the market area. I think there's a lot of reason to come and hang out. So that will help as well. And then we're going to set up like voice chats. Like I want like a tavern voice chat. So anyone who wants to just go sit in the tavern can just head into a voice chat that's dedicated to just people sat in the tavern. They just chat. Things like that. But yeah, appreciate you guys. I'm sorry for the super short stream, but yeah, it is my anniversary. So going to go spend some time with the wife. Watch some TV. Do absolutely nothing. And then get ready to hopefully prepare the launch. So have a good evening, everybody. Thank you all so much for coming by. Is there a mod for in-game chat? There's not. I wish there was. I would love proximity. Proximity voice chat would be incredible in this game. But it's just not, I'm afraid. Not yet. Not yet. We're early days right now. We're early days. Alright, chat. I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Much love, everybody. Please do drop a like on the way out if you haven't already. And prepare for some announcements and get back on the grind. But I will see you guys tomorrow.